welcome to Let's Talk About Cancer. I'm really glad you found the time to do it this evening, as I know probably everybody just got home from work or wherever they were and they're ready for their dinners. So let's start. So Macmillan Information and Support Centre at Kettering Hospital is literally in the middle of the hospital. We are not far from Costa, so if you follow the smell of the coffee, you should be able to find us easily. These are our contact details. We are open from 9 till 4 o'clock, Monday to Friday. And then you have Macmillan Information Support Centre at the Northampton General Hospital. These are their opening times, and they do have a Macmillan Information and Support Hub at the south entrance as well, and these are their contact details. So if you ever need to contact them, you can do by telephone or email. So let's start with the health and well-being. We do have our prospectus that comes every 6 months. We have a new one coming up in December, and you can find all the information about the services we provide. You can click here or scan the QR code if you want to have a look at our prospectus. We can share the slides with you later on, so you will be able to access the link, or you can just use the QR code on the screen now if you want to, or I can put it back on after we finish. But just very quickly to tell you what we do, so you have an idea what we do. We do have a chair yoga session every Tuesday, 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. It's very easy exercise, so anybody who like to do a little bit of stretching, it's very good to do this, because you don't have to go down on your knees or anything like that. You're just sitting on a chair. We offer support groups for family and friends. That's monthly coffee morning for family and friends every third Tuesday of the month between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So if you have any family member, friend who you think could benefit from talking to us, talking to other people who are in similar situation, you can send them our way. We do have a cloud kit in our centre. Loads of people don't know what the cloud kits are. So it's a kit to provide parents and carers with resources, activities and guidance to help children understand what's happening and to feel supported through their parents' cancer journey. So Cloud Kits is a little box of tools that you as a parent, grandparent could use to explain to children what they may see, what they may experience, what they may feel, how to approach the subject, how to start talking about it, what questions they may ask, what feelings they may have. So it's a complex toolbox with everything. You do have them in different categories. They are for little children 3 to 5 years old, for 6 to 11 years old, or 12 to 14 years old. The charity that sells the Cloud Kits does have online resources as well that you can access free of charge. They do have a podcast, YouTube channel, and loads of videos as well. We do have a demo kit in the centre at the moment that you can come and have a look at to see if it is something you would like to look at, buy or use, because loads of people don't even know what the Cancer Cloud Kits are. So we have them in a centre, so you can feel free to come and have a look. Another is coffee morning. We have a monthly support coffee morning, first Tuesday of every month between 10 and 12 at our Macmillan Centre. We have a great group of people who are our regulars, who have been coming for a very long time, and then people who are new to cancer journey. So you do have that support from more experienced people, or people who are going through that cancer journey for longer, and they can support you at the beginning or at any stage of your pathway. We offer Look Good, Feel Better workshops. We're really happy that we can offer this workshop for females and male patients. So these are skincare workshops where trained beauticians will talk to you about the skin changes you may experience when you're going through the cancer treatment, how it impacts your skin and what products to use, how to take care of your skin. And for gentlemen, it's about grooming and skincare as well. We do have a female one bi-monthly. The male ones depends on how many participants we have, so more people know about it, more sessions we will run. We are currently looking at our 2026 dates. So if you can't find them online, just give us a ring and ask if we have the dates. If not, we will let you know when we're expecting dates to be available. We also offer a telephone buddy service, and that's for patients who feel a little bit lonely and they just need this chat. Telephone buddy service is done by our volunteers who do that on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday, and they just talk to you about everything and anything. It doesn't have to be cancer related, it's just that extra somebody to talk to, and they can support you if there is anything we can do. They usually mention it to us saying, what about this? Can we offer this or that to patients? So we can support you that way as well. We offer benefits and advice service. We have our lovely Jenny. You can book an appointment with her by calling or visiting Macmillan Centre or emailing, and she will go through the benefits with you. She do benefit calculation, and she tend to do what if. So what if something changes, what you will be entitled to as well. She's a benefits expert, so it's really, if you're thinking about claiming any benefits or having any financial issues, it's really good to have a chat with her, as she is very knowledgeable. We offer wellbeing walks. They meet every Thursday at 2 p.m. at Wicksteed Park, excluding last Thursday because that one is at Rushton Lakes. We do have a group up to 15 people at the moment. It's not a speed walking or anything fast. It's just gentle wellbeing walk, enjoying a little bit of sunshine if we have a nice weather and a little bit of fresh air. So if you don't feel like you can walk really fast or can't do longer distances, that's fine as well, as long as we're aware. And then afterwards they tend to meet in a cafe just to have a chat and a little bit of laugh. We offer also holistic therapies. These are Reiki and reflexology. You can book appointment by giving us a call or popping into the centre. We have lovely Jo, who just won an award for volunteering her time to do the Reiki and reflexology for our patients, and there is external organisation we can refer you to as well. So if you want a little bit of a treat for yourself, do let us know and contact us. Hope Course, so that's helping overcoming problems effectively. Program is for patients who finish their cancer journey and they struggling to move on. They don't know what to do. They had lots of appointments and then suddenly nothing. So if you want a little bit of help there to move forward, or what to expect, what to do after your cancer treatment, this course is really good. We do the Hope Course, that is a 6 weeks course, so it's a 1 day a week, 6 weeks. Or then we do a Taking Control course, which is same information but more contents in 3 hours. So it's really long, intense session, but we tend to say it's like a taster session. So if you're not sure if you want to give 6 weeks to us, you can come to Taking Control and see if that's something for you. And it's lots of modules we're going through, but we're talking about setting goals, healthy diet, sleeping, and all sorts of different topics we cover. We have our newsletters, so everybody who signed up for the session today did click that they do want to be signed up for our newsletter. So I already move your details across to our newsletter list. So if you change your mind and you do not want to receive a newsletter, just let me know. But otherwise you will receive one very shortly, as the next one is due. We have our YouTube channel, which is dedicated channel. We have lots of videos, reels and podcasts there, educational and informative material. So we always have something going on. It's a joint channel between Kettering Hospital and the Northampton Hospital and Macmillan Centres. So you do have lots of information from everybody there. So living with and beyond cancer. After treatment, the holistic effects of cancer carry on beyond the completion of treatment. People often express loss, abandonment, and fear for the future. Macmillan Information Support Service offers support for as long as the patient needs. So there is no end date where you can't come to us anymore. So even 5, 6, 10 years after your treatment, you can always come to Macmillan Centre, because we do support everybody affected by cancer. Living with cancer, advancing treatment and care means people can now live for several years with treatable but not curable cancer. Some people will live for many years. Macmillan Information Support Service supports patients living with cancer either as a signposting service or health and wellbeing offers within the county. So as I said, local services. We also supporting carers. So anybody, including children and adults who look after family member, partner or friend who needs help because of the illness, disability or mental health problems or addiction and cannot cope without their support, the care they give is unpaid. We can support them. This can be formal and informal. We do work with the Northamptonshire Carers Charity as well, so we can signpost them to that. They can come to the family and friend support group that I mentioned earlier. And again, some of the Macmillan Health and Wellbeing offers welcome carers too. Primary care cancer champions. So there is 86% of practice managers surveyed felt that they would like to have more information about cancer available, and 80% of people with lived experience of cancer survey said that they would access information and support in their local doctor surgeries. I think there is over 75% cancer care champions in the community, and the role ensures up-to-date cancer information, promote cancer support that's local, complete training about how to support people with cancer, be an advocate and support for patients and their carers or loved ones, and potential to set up local cancer support groups or wellbeing walks. So they work in GP surgeries, in pharmacies. So it says over 60, but I'm sure it's over 75% of practices have a cancer care champions in the Northamptonshire county. There is some of them. I'm not sure how up to date this list is, but if you see your GP surgery, you can go to the reception and say, can I speak to the cancer care champion? And if you can't see your surgery here, it's always worth going there and asking if they do have one. Northampton Macmillan Centre does Explore, Pure and Reassurance Extra. It's a twice monthly early evening session for patients starting chemo, immunotherapy or radiotherapy. Family and carers are welcome. Access to social and healthcare professional during the session for information and support. And it's a tour of the treatment departments and the Macmillan Information and Support Centre. They do provide peer support, so anybody who is anxious or worried about what they're going to, what does it look like, if they like to be prepared, it's nice to actually go there and have that time to have. We do offer accessible information, so BSL, audiobooks, easy reads, information in different languages. So if you do have anybody who needs information in different format, you just contact us and we will find out for you or point you in the right direction where the information can be found. And then National Macmillan Service. You can contact them by email, you can give them a call. They do have a health and well-being advisors on the line, but then they do have nurses on the line as well. They will not be able to help you with the specific problem, but if you have generic question about the treatment or symptoms, you can give them a ring and you can speak to the nurse on the line. They do have an online community as well, which runs 24 hours. It is monitored by professionals, but if you find yourself at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock at night thinking about something, you can always go to online community and ask the question. Maybe somebody already asked the question and search there. They do offer free wheel of writing service, and we do have information about that in the Macmillan Centre. So if you're interested, just pop in or just give us a ring and we can post you the booklet. They do offer telephone buddy service, but it's slightly different to the one the Macmillan Centre offer. This has a limit up to 6 sessions, said the online community. Okay, do you have any questions? I'm sorry if I bombarded you with loads of informations. There is an email address for our Macmillan Centre and the Northampton Macmillan Centre. So if you find yourself wanted to ask a question later on, you can always email us. And thank you, Rachel. She said, yes, it's 75% of cancer care champion. 75% surgeries have a cancer care champion. Yes, Ruth. Oh, can't hear it.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear it now.
So it's just to say, I'd just like to thank Mim for putting this session together. I've had a few technical issues, hence I'm on 2 devices. But I think one of the most important things to say is that obviously the centres are here for you. So if you have questions, or if there's there are elements we've not yet covered, then please do, as Mim has already said, pop into the centres or send us an email. Whatever the issue is, if we don't know the exact answer, we will find out and we'll signpost you to the places that will help you. So it's just a massive thank you for Mim for putting this together. And from my perspective, I think it's going to be a really enjoyable evening. I just welcome people to kind of, if they feel like they want to speak out and give us some feedback, then that would be absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you don't feel like speaking out, because there are people who are shy, just pop your question in the chat box as well. We can answer that way. Or, as I said, you can always ask a question later, but I can guarantee if you have that question, there is somebody else who has the same question. So it's worth asking and we get that answer for everybody. But if you don't have any questions, I will stop presentation and we'll give you a few more seconds to think about your question, and if not, I will introduce our next speaker. No? Okay. There will be an opportunity to ask questions at the end, so don't worry about it. So we do have somebody from Talking Therapies, and that's Nicola Phillips.
Hello. Hi. I've got just a short presentation just to keep me focused on what I'm going to share with you. So I'll share the screen. Hopefully you can see that. Has that come up, Miriam, on the screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't see anybody now whilst I'm sharing this. So if there is any questions, if you can shout out, because yeah, everybody is kind of blocked from my screen now. So please let me know if you've got any questions. So yeah, my name is Nicola Phillips. I'm the clinical lead, or one of the clinical leads, along with Fiona French, and I'm also a CBT therapist in Northamptonshire NHS Talking Therapies Health. So what I'm going to cover this evening with you is who we are, who we can support, common reactions to living with cancer, and how that links sometimes to the grief cycle. A bit about the therapy, the main therapy that we use, which is CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, the integrative approach that we use, the mental health difficulties that we can support, and just a reminder of some of the symptoms of anxiety and depression and how to refer to our service, Talking Therapies Health. So who we are a team of psychological practitioners. We've all had additional training within Talking Therapies Health to gain a better understanding of what it's like to live with a long-term condition such as cancer. We offer evidence-based therapy, and the treatments we offer will be really optional for the patient. So it could be over the phone, it could be face-to-face, it could be over Teams. We also offer some opportunities for groups as well. So who do we support? Well, we're an adult mental health team. So people do need to be aged over 17 and a half to be referred to us. You do need to be registered with a GP in Northamptonshire. And because we're a long-term condition, you need to have one of these 4 long-term conditions. These are the ones we've got funding for currently. So that's diabetes, type 1 and type 2, respiratory difficulties, cancer, or cardiovascular problems. And with cancer, you can be in recovery from cancer, and that could be several years ago, but we would still welcome you into our service. And because we're a mental health team, there does need to be an element of experiencing emotional distress as well alongside that. If somebody was referred to our team, Talking Therapies Health, and they didn't have one of those 4 long-term conditions, they would be able to access our wider team, Talking Therapies. Talking Therapies Home Health is a specialist team that's been set up within Talking Therapies. So we've got extra understanding of these 4 long-term conditions, and we also use a slightly different approach, which I'll come on to in a moment. So what we understand about some of the common reactions that someone would have, perhaps who's experienced cancer, may be a change in their self-identity. You know, I was healthy and now I'm ill. A sense of loss, feeling like I'm not the person I used to be. Frustration and anger about what's happened. Low mood. I've gone from being the breadwinner to not earning any money. I feel useless now. Often anxiety, and that can be about the future, what's coming up. Guilt as well, you know, feeling like it's their fault. Worry again about the future, finances, their health, what the outcome will be, and often feeling quite hopeless and helpless and vulnerable, feeling like they've got no control sometimes over their body. So we've also recognised that a lot of the time people going through a diagnosis of cancer, it can feel like a bereavement for them, and they'll go through the stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, which all of these are going to have an impact on somebody's mood and mental health. So what we would do is aim to really help them to move towards acceptance much more smoothly. These are all normal, natural stages to go through. However, sometimes people get stuck there. So really our aim is to move people on through these stages a lot more smoothly. Now, this is the big difference really for people who come into our service with a long-term condition compared to people who haven't got a long-term condition, which is why our team has been set up. So one of the main therapies we use is cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT. Now, it works on the belief that it's not the event or the situation that is causing the distress, but more how the person views it and perceives the situation and what's going on. It also understands that a person's thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, and behaviours will all influence each other and all help to maintain what's happening. So it's something that we know is a vicious cycle, but just telling yourself to, you know, snap out of it, improve your mood is often not enough for most of us, really. And this is where we come in, really. We can use CBT to help the person with some practical strategies, a bit of coaching to help them to break their vicious cycles. So here is a common vicious cycle that somebody with cancer might notice themselves experiencing. So that thought of, I'm not the person I used to be, having that thought will influence the mood, so possibly leading to frustration and low mood, and impact the body, so feeling quite tired, a loss of motivation, which will then lead to a change in their behaviour. Actually, they might withdraw, they may become a little bit quieter, isolate themselves, and not do as much as they were doing before, which is then going to reinforce that thought of, I'm not the person I used to be, and then reinforce the mood, the frustration, and the physical feeling. And so that vicious cycle continues. So our aim is really to help the person, first of all, notice that, because quite often when you're in the middle of that, you're not aware of what's going on. You're just aware that you don't feel good. So first off, notice it and then help the person to break out of that cycle. So in our team, we use something called an integrative approach. This really is about using mixed therapies. Now, we've recognised that somebody living with cancer or in recovery may need a slightly more flexible approach. So we bring in a range of different strategies that we can use. So EMDR, this is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, a little bit of a mouthful. So EMDR is much easier to say. This is a therapy technique which has been designed to help individuals process from traumatic memories and emotional distress. It can be really useful if somebody is struggling and had some really difficult medical procedures during their cancer treatment. Sometimes even the diagnosis of themselves can be really traumatic for people. So that can be really useful for lots of different experiences. Mindfulness, we use this quite a lot, and it's that practice of being fully present, aware of your thoughts and feelings and surroundings without judgment, allowing yourself to have a deeper connection to the present moment. It does take a bit of practice, so using mindfulness exercise can really help people to be more present and in the moment. Compassion focused therapy or CFT, this is becoming increasingly popular. People with long-term conditions tend to give themselves a really hard time. You know, they treat themselves in a way that they would never treat anybody else. So actually helping them to show themselves a bit of self-compassion, which actually doesn't come naturally to many of us, can make a big impact on reducing their psychological distress and enhancing their emotional well-being. Acceptance and commitment therapy is another therapy that we use widely in our team. And that is about accepting and noticing the negative thoughts and feelings and symptoms and helping that person to unhook from them, to let them go and move on, and encouraging them to focus on their values, their goals, what's important to them, rather than getting hooked into some of these really unhelpful thoughts. So the main difficulties that we support within Talking Therapy is health, and we're aware that a lot of the people, I should say, that come in to see us initially will not say, you know, I'm struggling with low self-esteem or I'm struggling with PTSD. They're not sure what the name of it is. They just know they don't feel good. So we would kind of help identify what it is that they're experiencing. But the main difficulties we would support with in our service are generalised anxiety, a fear of cancer reoccurring, which we see quite a lot, depression. So under depression comes lots of different things. So that's struggling to accept and to adjust to life changes, it's due to health, particularly if people are not as mobile, not as physically able as they were before. Low self-esteem, OCD, health anxiety or fear of death, fear of dying, social anxiety, panic, and PTSD. So they're some of the common presentations that we would support in our team. So a reminder of what depression looks like. So, and often I present this when I am presenting to the general public, so people that might access our service, just so they're aware, because actually sometimes when you're in this, especially if you've been in this for a long time, you kind of accept that this is normal for you. So sometimes highlighting what the symptoms are can be really helpful. And feeling low in mood, it is a personal experience. It will be different for everyone, but these are the common shared symptoms that most people, or if not all, will experience some of these. So feeling down for most of the day, nearly every day, a decreased interest or pleasure in your activities most of the day, a change in your appetite and weight, sleep problems like waking up early or not being able to get off to sleep, tiredness and a loss of energy nearly every day, feeling guilty or worthless and struggling to concentrate, noticing more negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts can include thoughts of wanting to end your life as well. So symptoms of anxiety, the common ones include constant worrying, so the brain is constantly on the go, irritability, unable to relax, poor sleep, feeling quite sick and breathless. The good news is that these symptoms can be helped with therapy, particularly CBT. So what do we do? What do we offer in our service? So initially, if somebody's referred to us, we will book them in for an initial assessment. And we use this to determine what it is that they're struggling with. So what is their main problem? And hopefully to establish some goals as well. So what do they want to achieve? What do they want to get out of therapy? We can offer one-to-one therapy using something called guided self-help. So this is based on CBT principles. This is our lower intensity therapy. The work would be with one of our qualified psychological wellbeing practitioners. We can also offer one-to-one therapy for higher intensity work. And this would be established in that initial assessment, whether someone would benefit from the lower intensity or actually they need the higher intensity. Some people will need both. So they'll start with the lower intensity and then go on to access a higher intensity. Now, this work would be delivered by a CBT therapist or a clinical psychologist. And the therapists will all have additional training of EMDR or mindfulness. And most of our therapists come from a core qualification such as social work, occupational therapy, or nursing background as well. We also run a mindfulness-based cognitive therapy for cancer groups. So this is an 8-week course, and it's to introduce mindfulness techniques and skills to people who have experienced cancer or actually going through the treatment. And that's to support and enhance their well-being. We're running currently a walking group, so this allows time to walk, get to know other people with the long-term condition, and also learn some wellbeing strategies as well. We've tried to set up a wellbeing group to focus on all our long-term conditions. So we've got a mindfulness group for people living with cancer or recovering from cancer. We've also got a wellbeing and cardiac group, a wellbeing and diabetes, and a wellbeing and respiratory group as well. So how to refer, people don't need to go through their GP or be referred through a health professional. They can self-refer. So here is our telephone number and our email address. You can also refer online. We've got a portal as well that people can refer to on there. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the screen. Okay. Any questions about Talking Therapies Health?
Thank you, Nicola. That was really, really good.
That's okay.
Any questions, anybody? No? Ruth?
Ruth?
I was just going to ask, so what, how does your support differ from that of a clinical psychologist? You've gone through the levels, but what does that mean to our patients?
Okay, so we work with what we would term as mild to moderate mental health presentation. So there's clinical psychologists in our team, but there's also clinical psychologists set up in, I believe, in both the hospitals, Kettering and Northampton. So oncology, psychology. Is that what you mean, Ruth? How we would differ to that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
okay.
was kind of getting at.
So we cover the level 2 and level 3. So the mental health pathway is a stepped care model. So you've got level 2 and level 3 where we would sit, and level 4 would really be where oncology, psychology sits. So they would work with more severe, more complex presentations generally. There'll probably be a bit of an overlap between that level 3, so our high intensity, and level 4, but generally we would work with the mild to moderate presentations, and the oncology psychologist would work with a more complex presentation. Does that make sense, Ruth?
Perfect. I was just more interested how it fits in with those on the call, really, and that's the only reason for asking the question. Everything else was really comprehensive.
Thank you.
I have
Any
a
other
question.
questions? Oh, yeah, go on, Miriam.
Just to clarify, so if anybody has a cancer, but their mental health problems is not related to their cancer diagnosis, or it's related to something else, I don't know, work or something else, they can still access your service. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we generally we say the mental health difficulty needs to be sort of connected to the long-term condition, and it does tend to be. So initially it will look like it's not connected, but there generally is once we kind of get working. So yeah, we would say probably come to us, and we would support them, even if initially it doesn't look like it's connected.
Okay, yeah, I guess if you're worried about money because you can't work because of your long-term condition, it is kind of connected. But
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Thank you. Anybody else? No. Thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you.
a great presentation. Thank you. We should have somebody from Loggot Feel Better here with us today, but I don't think they could make it unless somebody else joined. Then Sam, shout out. If not, we will skip them and introduce our next speaker, who would be somebody from Spring Social Prescribing, Evelina, if I pronounced that right.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Evelina Arhaya. I was the community development and engagement lead for Spring at Northamptonshire Carers, but in the last 1 month or so, I've changed roles in the organization, so I'm still here. And today I'm going to be talking about Spring. Let me see if I can share quickly my camera. No, my camera is not working. I'm trying to share the screen.
Yeah, we can see your presentation.
Oops, sorry. Empowering individuals across Northamptonshire to choose well, stay well, and live well is the core idea behind Spring. We know health isn't just about medical treatment. Many patients are dealing with loneliness, stress, low confidence, or practical barriers that make it harder to manage their health. Spring often supports patients who come in frequently because life feels overwhelming, not because of medical needs. They receive help in building confidence, create social connections, and coping strategies so they can live well day by day, which in turn reduces reliance on clinical services. Spring is a social prescribing program that supports adults with long-term health conditions in Northamptonshire. It focuses on well-being beyond medication, helping people access social groups, emotional support, lifestyle activities, and community resources. A link worker works alongside a person to understand what matters to them and to support small, achievable, positive changes. Our service is delivered through a partnership model which strengthens local accessibility. Northamptonshire Carers supports Wellingborough and East Northants area. Age UK Northamptonshire covers North and West Northamptonshire, and General Practice Alliance looks after Northampton. These partnerships ensures that service is embedded across communities and aligned to primary care networks and integrated care systems. Spring approach is not about fixing problems, it's about recognizing the strengths. We are asking what matters to you rather than what is the matter to you. The link worker supports confidence building, independence, and connections, which often leads to reduced GP attendance and better well-being outcomes. The person is always in control of their goals. Who can access Spring? Any individual that is 18 plus and lives in Northamptonshire, have at least one long physical health condition, plus one or more factors such as social isolation, mental health challenges, caring responsibilities, low activities, or financial or social barriers. Many patients from primary care fit this profile, especially frequent attenders who needs more time and emotional support than the clinical pathway alone can provide. How does it work? The start is with a referral, either from healthcare professionals or from person themselves. The first step is a relaxed well-being conversation to understand what's going on in the person's life and what matters most to them. Spring uses the well-being star as part of their assessment that looks at different areas of someone's life that affects their health, such as mental and emotional well-being, lifestyle and physical activity, relationships, purpose and daily routine, how are they managing their symptoms or their long-term condition, are they feeling safe and secure in their daily life. The person chooses where they feel they are in the scale on each area. This is more of a conversation tool. It helps the link worker understand what feels hard at the moment and where the person wants to see the change. It is also useful for the person to visually see their progress over time when they are having their review at 6 or 12 months, which can be very motivating, especially when changes sometimes may feel slow. What Spring offer is a tailored for each individual. It's a tailored package for each individual. Some example might include joining local walking or craft groups, choir, men or ladies groups, peer or support groups, emotional support, motivational coaching, support with improving daily routines or physical activities, guidance on volunteering or going back to work, social connections, communities activities, and many, many more. Supports last up to 12 months. More intensive support happens, sorry, I missed. Many participants of the spring want to give back once they feel stronger. Volunteering is part of, it's offered after 6 months in the program. They feel more confident and they feel belonging to the service. Many of the participants, after they are taking on volunteering role, they become group co-leaders, peer supporters, and community connectors. Our support is for 12 months with regular reviews in 6 and 12 months. At the beginning of the program, clients are receiving more support and then gradually swifts towards independence and sustainability. In this way, dependency is avoided and long-term resilience is being built. We have a case study, and we picked Linda, who lived with chronic pain and depression and felt isolated. Her first goal was simply to walk socially again. With gradual support, she joined yoga and weight management groups, regained confidence, and eventually started her own walking group. Now she's mentoring others. And I think this shows that through confidence and connections and a lot of support, change can be a good factor. And this is not just a quick fix, because this is not happening over a couple of days or months. We have a couple of examples of testimonials, what other clients are saying. They are consistently reporting feeling heard and supported. And the recurring theme, I think, is I feel like I belong. So most of the clients, after a while with Spring, they all feel heard and belonging to something like the Spring community. Referrals are simple from professionals or self-referrer. If you are going on our website, Spring Social Prescribing in Northamptonshire, on the top page, there is a button that says refer. Anyone can do this referral. Spring is here to support patients who need to go beyond what can be resolved in short clinical appointments. So if anyone has a long-term physical condition, is impacted by isolation, stress, or low confidence, and would believe that they may benefit from time support and connections from the community surrounding, they are suitable for our service. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm going to be happy to answer the best I can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? No, Ruth?
Yes.
I was just going to ask Evelina whether you could access the link for the self-referral via your presentation, just to see how simple it is. Because sometimes if you're self-referring and you're a patient or a relative, it can be quite difficult. So I just wondered, is it relatively straightforward? And I just wondered if you could access that via the presentation you put together and show us, if you could share it.
Yes, I can.
Because that's sometimes the thing that puts people off, isn't it?
Sorry, I think we lost you.
Sorry,
Evelina,
just
sorry.
my connection just ended. Try to share my screen.
There you
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that. Perfect. And so it's
So you
just
have a
self-referral.
self-referral. Exactly.
Perfect.
And there is a short form,
So,
just with a couple of
okay,
questions.
so that really isn't onerous, is it? Because often it's how much you have to put into it that puts people off from kind of submitting things. And I'm guessing those little arrows are dropped down, so you can just, select different bits from that.
Yes, you can select, you can do a self-referral for myself if I'm the patient, or for someone else.
Perfect.
If I am a professional. So
Thank you.
no worries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody has any other questions? No, then thank you very much, and we will move on. Thank you. So next speaker is from Age UK, and that's Pandora. I can see you on my screen. Hello.
Hello, I'm unmuted. Unmuted. Thank you very much. Thank you for introducing me. I am very low key, as in I have no presentation slides, and I just wanted to talk about the charity that I work for in the hope that it will be useful or interesting to the audience. You introduced me as Pandora from Age UK. And I'm very specifically Pandora from Age UK Northamptonshire. And it is a bit of a bugbear of ours that we are a local independent charity. We are affiliated to the national charity Age UK, who are based in London, but we are one of 125 local independent charities, and we just cover Northamptonshire. And this does matter because it means that all our services and support are provided to people who pay their council tax to West Northamptonshire Council and North Northamptonshire Council. So we will go from Corby down to Brackley, to Toaster to Kettering, but we're not allowed over the border past Oundle into Peterborough, and we don't go past Brackley to Banbury. We are very much a local independent charity, and this does colour how people see us and also what we can do. It's a slightly odd fit, I think, for me to be talking on behalf of Age UK Northamptonshire to this audience, because we are very specifically a charity aimed at supporting older people. So older people have all sorts of health problems. Their lives are all very different, but the one thing they all have in common is that they are 55 and over. So I was thinking about what interest you would have in Age UK Northamptonshire, and I hope that the most obvious thing is that we might be helpful or useful to you, because the whole point of the charity is to provide services and support that help people improve their life. So we do the most obvious things you'd expect us to do. We provide free information and advice, and we help a lot of people claim attendance allowance, but obviously this is people pension age and over. We provide practical services like handy person, toenail cutting, gardening, domestic care, care support at home, which are all aimed at older people, improving their life, helping keep them independent. I've got a key safe here, which I don't know if you've all seen a key safe. So these are all practical things that we do. But we're quite a diverse organisation in that we do lots of things that you wouldn't necessarily expect us to do. So we have an appointeeship team, people who can take over the management of people's finances if they are unable to manage them themselves. Say they've gone into hospital and they're temporarily indisposed, or maybe they're in a coma, or there's some reason why they need somebody to take over their finances on a short-term basis. Then we can, Age UK Northamptonshire can be your appointeeship for that. We, as mentioned previously, we do get involved in social prescribing, which is people age 18 plus. We work with Spring. We have a hospital discharge and community team, collaborative care, all sorts of things that sort of generally support people and work with the NHS, but is for people, older people, rather than people of all ages. So I don't know if that's what you're interested in on this evening, but I would like to mention volunteering and working for us, because everybody whose life has been affected by cancer will be living a very particular life of their own. So I don't know what you're interested in, but like all charities, we are, I would like to think, friendly, caring people, and that if you want to work part-time, or if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to meet new people, get involved in a world that you've never had anything to do with before, local independent charities like Age UK Northamptonshire are a great place to start. You don't have to necessarily volunteer in a shop. We've got 11 shops in the county. We're always looking for more volunteers. It's a great, as you know, it's you know, a regular commitment. You meet new people, you're useful, you're helping raise money, and it broadens your horizons, gives you the opportunity to get out of the home. It might be something you've never thought about, but actually volunteering can be life enhancing. It can be a nice way to spend time. So I would encourage you to look at our website, www.ageuknorthants.org.uk. You might be very surprised as to how many volunteering opportunities we have. And you could, you know, we have admin, we're always looking for admin support. We have a telephone befriending service where our volunteers ring older people who are lonely and feeling isolated. So that's something that some people might enjoy. Does anyone have any questions? Am I going off topic, or is this the sort of thing you wanted to know about Age UK Northamptonshire?
Rachel has a question.
Thank you. I've got a couple of questions, if that's okay. So in terms of, so your services, so is there any charge for the services? That's my first question. And then the second one is, as I'm somebody who doesn't live in the Northamptonshire area, excuse me, his boundaries aren't great to me. I've got an idea of some of the places that you've mentioned, but is there an Age UK within Northampton that covers the other areas that you don't
Right, so
cover?
the first question is, this is a, I don't, oh gosh, can't see, I'm waving it too fast. Yes, we do charge for our services. So as a independent charity, we have to be solvent and we have to cover our costs. And we talk about our income as roughly thirds. So a third of our income comes from our shops and donations, legacies, fundraising, stuff that we do ourselves to raise money. A third of it comes from contracts that we have with the NHS, like Spring, social prescribing, collaborative care. And the other third comes from the charges that we make for our services. So care support at home, gardening, handy person, cleaning, toenail cutting, we make what we call a reasonable charge to cover our costs. So we couldn't provide the service unless we charged. They're not provided by volunteers, they're provided by paid staff. And it's a question of scale. If you imagine we have 500 domestic care cleaning clients and we have about 90 members of staff, it's not something you can run without costs and paid staff who will guarantee to turn up. We can't run it with volunteers. So that's our business model, you might say. So we can only keep going, providing the services. 18,000 older people every year, we say, that we support. So we, as I say, those are things that we charge for. Hospital discharge community team is free. Collaborative care, Age Well, they're all free because they're funded by somebody else, which is the NHS. Telephone befriending is free and information advice has to be free, otherwise we're not allowed to call ourselves an Age UK. And you mentioned geographical areas. There are 125 roughly Age UKs up and down the country. Some are quite big, like Age UK Leicestershire and Rutland, and some are quite small, like Age UK York, say, and they all vary. They all have to provide free information and advice, but in all other respects, they will be different depending on what they are able to do locally. So if you ask me a particular place, then I could say there's probably an Age UK there. And the best thing to do would be to Google or to go on Age UK, the national website, and put in your postcode and it'll tell you what your local Age UK is. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you have a Peterborough postcode or not, but if you're in Oundle, which has a Peterborough postcode, you're in Northamptonshire. So we will support you. You know, you're one of ours, so to speak. The same as you know, when you get towards Market Harborough, as long as you're not over the border in Leicestershire, doesn't matter what your postcode is. If you're in Northamptonshire, then you come in our area.
Is there, I suppose, more specifically, you talked about being in West or covered West Northants and North
Northamptonshire, because they're the two
Northamptonshire.
councils that cover the entirety of Northamptonshire.
Oh,
Used
so
to be
you're for the
Northamptonshire
whole.
County Council, didn't it? And now it's been split into two. So
Okay.
we cover the whole of the county. And I was just
Right,
trying to make
okay.
it clear that we cover the whole of the county, but we don't go over the border into Oxfordshire, and we don't go over the border into, say, Bedfordshire.
I think I was trying to get to whether there was any other Age UKs actually in Northamptonshire, but it's you.
And the answer is no, because that's our business model. We don't compete at the moment. We don't compete with other
Right,
Age UKs because we all have a geographical area that we cover. So obviously we don't compete with Age UK Wiltshire because that's their area, and we're Age UK Northamptonshire.
Okay. No, that makes sense now. Thank
Maybe
you.
I muddied the waters a bit by mentioning council tax. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Can I sneak another question in?
Please
as well?
do, because I
sorry,
want
don't
to
want
be
to take
relevant to your audience.
I don't want to take the complete floor. Do you provide a list of sort of trusted providers? So if somebody came into, so I work in the information centre in Northampton General Hospital. So if somebody
Yes.
came in who was struggling with, I don't know, they needed a plumber, and obviously
Yes.
we wouldn't recommend anybody. But do you have like trusted lists of providers?
Thank you for that lovely question, because obviously I haven't covered everything that we do, but so yes, we do. We
You
have
do.
a business and
Okay.
trades directory. We've got roughly, I think, 30 local businesses on there, like plumbers, electricians, builders, care companies, landscapers, where we have investigated their insurance, public liability insurance, asked for references, and we charge them a small fee to be on our business and trades directory. So yes, it's on our website. People do, they ring us up all the time and say, can you recommend me an electrician? Which is why we do it, because it protects older people. I mean, it's for anybody, actually. It's not just for older people. We try and protect people from rogue traders. So in our own small way, we do have a list of people that we are on our business and trades directory. So you can ring us up 01604 611 200, or you can go on our website, which is Age UK Northamptonshire's website.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rachel. I actually had that question I was about to ask, because I know some of the local Age UK do the list of trusted traders. So I wanted to know if you guys have one.
Yes, I mean, I think really in a way we are a source of information and advice on all sorts of things. And what we would hope is that, and as I have to say, we're an older people's charity, we would hope that if any older person had a query and they weren't sure who to turn to, they would just ring us. And if we can't answer the question, then we would signpost them to wherever they needed to go. So we do benefits, obviously. We help with blue badges, and we have all sorts of weird questions because people think of something and they can't find the answer, and I would hope that they ring us and we will do our best to find out for them.
That's great. I think that's amazing, and that's what it is, isn't it? Same for Macmillan Centre, having somewhere to go, like a hub, where patients can go with any kind of questions, any kind of query they may have, may not be relevant to that particular organization, but we can signpost them, we can tell them where to go, we can direct them and point them in the right direction, or help them to seek the answer. So thank you very much. Do you have any more questions? No, thank you very much. It was great.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm sorry about my background. I'm on a new laptop and I wasn't really sure what to go with, so I seem to have ended up with trees, I think. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
I think bye-bye then.
So we had some more speakers, but unfortunately, they couldn't make it. So we are coming towards the end of our session. If there is anything Ruth or Rachel would like to mention that I haven't covered yet, feel free to put hand up or just stop me and say, can I have a word? If not, And then I will thank you, everybody. Thanks to our speakers, and thank you to our patients participants who had time to come and attend this session. I hope you found it useful. And there is one thing I would like to leave you with, actually two. I just want you to know that you're never alone. There is that another patient you can meet when you're having chemotherapy, or you're coming to our walk-in groups, or there is relatives, but there is us as well. You can come to us at any point. And the last thing I wanted to mention, you do not need a reason to come to the Macmillan Centre. Loads of patients think they need to have a problem to come and see us. That's not the case. You are welcome to just come in and have a cuppa. Just tell us how was your day. If you're coming for an appointment and you know how hard it is to park at the hospital, and you come an hour early or half an hour early, just pop in to see us. We will offer you a drink, offer you some tea, offer you some biscuits, and have a chat. And you can tell us about your day, your family, well, interest in vacation. We want to know it all. So you are welcome to come and see us whenever, within our opening hours. And we are reachable over the phone as well. So if you don't feel like you can come to the hospital, you don't feel well enough, or you don't want to come and struggle to park, feel free to give us a ring and just say, hi, I just want to tell you I'm doing okay. So it's nice to actually know that people are doing okay from time to time, rather than when they're struggling. So thank you very much again. Thank you, everybody. And I hope you had a nice evening with us, and hopefully we will see you soon.
Hello, my name is Matthew Pelotok and I work for Northamptonshire Sport. Northamptonshire Sport is a charity which supports people to become physically active, improve their health and well-being. We're based out of Delaprey Abbey in Northampton, but we work all the way across Northamptonshire. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a programme called We Can Move. We Can Move has been developed by Northamptonshire Sport in collaboration with the Macmillan Cancer Recovery Teams, Public Health Northamptonshire, and local health and fitness providers. You can find some more information on our website. The We Can Move programme is split up into 3 different areas: self-management, self-referral and signposting, cancer exercise on referral programme. I'm going to give you a brief summary of each of the programmes today as we look through them. So self-management. Self-management is about encouraging cancer patients to move more as part of their everyday life. This can be as simple as walking to the bus stop, going out, looking after your garden. But I wanted to highlight 3 different resources which could really help you within some of that work. The first one is the Macmillan Cancer website. On their website, there are some really useful resources about programs, activities that you can do at the home and in your garden and with your family members. We actively encourage people to look at that and use that. Another one is the We Are Undefeatable app. The We Are Undefeatable is a national programme to support people with long-term health conditions be more active. You can either use their website, which has lots of resources, or they've recently just launched an app which you can download on both your Android and iPhone free of charge, which really helps provide some targeted support and activities for people with a range of long-term health conditions, including cancer. It can be accessed by anyone along their cancer journey. And another one, part of the self-management, is just getting out through the door yourself. I know the days are getting darker, but it's about just taking those opportunities when you can to get out the door and be active. Or, as I like saying to my children, just trying to do a little bit of exercise when you're brushing your teeth, lifting your legs up, trying to rub your tummy with one hand while you're brushing your teeth, just trying to make it fun as you do some day-to-day activities around the house. The next one is self-referral and signposting. For this programme, we've worked with a range of partners across Northamptonshire to get some activities going hopefully somewhere near you in the county. I've broken this down into 3 different areas. The first one being qualified cancer rehab with trained partners. We have a couple of gyms across Northamptonshire where their staff have gone through increased training to support cancer patients be more active. The second one is cancer rehab with trained partners. These trained partners might be professionals in what they do, whether that's group exercise or your very own Macmillan Cancer Support Team, but they haven't gone on to get the qualifications to deliver it as part of the qualified cancer program. It's not saying they aren't as good, they just haven't gone on to that training yet. And then the third one is just our local volunteer-based community groups that you may be part of already, but I wanted to highlight a couple more opportunities to you. So, qualified cancer rehab program. We have 2 gyms at the moment that do some work. The first one, Imperial Bodies in Daventry. They're looking to start some programs and they're actively seeking patients from across Daventry district who might be interested. The second one is NN Leisure, so Northants Leisure, based out of Corby, for this program. On a Wednesday, they do some group exercise classes, followed by a cup of coffee and a chat, and that's led by staff members who've gone through 5 days of training to make sure the sessions are perfectly suited for anyone on their cancer journey. And then we have some colleagues across Northamptonshire that are doing some excellent work. So we have Breast Friends Northamptonshire, who run exercise classes in Wootton in Northampton and Burton Latimer just on the outside of Kettering. We have the Lewis Foundation and Step Forward with Lewis that do some group exercises in Northampton. The Torwox Foundation that do some one-to-one support in Northampton. Macmillan Cancer Support, they offer Stretch the Future yoga classes at Delapre Abbey where we're based and at Kettering General Hospital. Then the Macmillan Cancer Support, they also offer walks across Northamptonshire, including Wicksteed Park, Delapre Abbey, Weston Lakes, Daventry. So I'm sure if you reached out and spoke to them, they'll make you feel more than welcome at any of those opportunities. As mentioned, more details are on our website around those activities. As well as that, there's a really exciting national programme called 5K Your Way. So 5K Your Way was started by someone called Lucy Gossage, who is a real keen advocate for supporting cancer patients become more active. And it's for anyone affected on the cancer journey, whether that is you yourself, your family members, your young children, your grandchildren. It's about coming together on the last Saturday of each month to do something active, or just to sit there and enjoy it while other people are being active, or even better, helping volunteer at some of these events. So 120 different pathruns across Northamptonshire have linked up with 5K Your Way ambassadors to become part of this movement. So we have some local events that are perfect for this. So we have Wicksteed Park and Northampton Racecourse. Both of those are tied to the Kettering and Northampton parkruns. They work really well alongside each other. And if 5K is too far for you, as part of the 5K Your Way, you can just go for a walk around the park, do some of the course and feel part of the session while you're there. And I also wanted to highlight Welland Park in Market Harbour and Bedford Park. So I know some of you might just live on the borders and they could be your local opportunities to take part in 5K Your Way. It's definitely worth a good Google to have a look as to where they are. So, and the final one is cancer exercise on referral. So for this program, it's aimed at adults 16 plus who've been affected by cancer. So it's made up of a few different components. For the exercise on referral, each gym that we work with are fully qualified cancer rehab professionals working in them. They have gone through rigorous training to make sure the support offered is the best possible. The programme itself consists of 16 sessions delivered in friendly, positive settings across Northamptonshire. And it's for anyone at any point along their cancer journey. So to access these, there's a few bits. It's done based on a referral-based scheme where you'll be able to access some of the paperwork to either complete yourself and work with your health professional, your clinical nurse, your doctors, your GPs to complete and hand over. And that way, it gives the most up-to-date information to the gyms to be able to support you as you go along. So we're currently working with Daventry Leisure Centre, Fitness Without Boundaries in Northampton, and Corby East Midlands International and Lodge Park Sports Centres, both part of NN Leisure, for it to deliver these programmes. If you reach out to any of those sites, details on our website, they'll be able to provide you with some more information around what we need from you. So on our website, northamptonshiresport.org, our programmes We Can Move, you'll be able to find some more information or just scan this QR code to find this information. If you'd like a conversation with us about it, feel free to reach out to Northamptonshire Sport through our website and we'll be more than happy to have that conversation with you. We look forward to helping you on your physical activity journey through the We Can Move programme.
Absolutely go. I do not know where I'd be if I hadn't have gone to that workshop. It has changed my life. It really, really has. I nearly didn't go because I was very much like you. I wasn't into wearing my makeup and looking after myself then. My zest for life had gone. I thought, what is this going to do for me? I do also think the big thing is we go to hospital, we get diagnosed, and it's all very medical. You are in that hospital having treatment and it is basically doom and gloom because it is awful. And when you come to an event like this, it's literally like you can leave all of that behind you for a minute and it's giving you that girly kind of, I can forget about this for a minute and I'm just really making myself feel wonderful.